I am so excited to talk with you today about goal setting. This is by far the most common question that I get from clients as they're trying to figure out how to set and achieve their goals. As we start a new year, it's always important to reflect on the previous year, which we've done in some of our previous videos here. From there, I usually encourage my clients to select a word of the year to guide the year ahead. And for many of us, that is enough. Just selecting one word, one theme to encompass our year. But for those of us that are ready to take our personal development to the next level, I encourage you to take this next step with a more intensive goal setting regimen. So how do we do that? I know for me, I have taken the time to talk with experts, read the research, and really delve deeply into this topic because it's so important to me, but then also my clients. In doing all of this research, I discovered that goal setting transcends into so many different areas. So obviously the psychology area that I specialize in, but then it's interesting to see that goal setting transitions also into different areas such as theology, into economics, into physics, which was one that really surprised me. And so I've taken all of these ideas together and tried to create a model that works from all of these different experts. And all this data is out there, so go do your own research and customize this to meet your needs. This is just one idea from me to you about how to make this work, but by no means is there a one-size-fits-all plan. So take these ideas and customize them to best meet your needs. So with that in mind, I want to tell you a little bit about the three main pieces of goal setting that I think are essential for your success. And the first one is the idea that you need to have one main goal or focus. So often we become overwhelmed focusing in too many areas. This is why I usually encourage clients to start with just a word of the year, just one area that they're focused on. Beyond that, we can certainly extend ourselves and focus on one bigger area. That's great. But be very careful and cautious to not go into too many areas, to not delve too deeply and stretch yourself too thin. The second area or theme that I've noticed as I've been digging into this research over the years is the idea of positivity, the law of attraction, abundance theory. They're all interwoven together. And when we believe in the positivity in our life, that good things are out there and available to us, then we are much more open to the positive change that setting these goals can have for our lives. From there, a third and really key component of this is the idea that personal strengths do not matter as much as personal effort. I'm going to say that again because I think it's so important. Personal strengths do not matter as much as personal effort. This ties into growth mindset, the work of Dr. Carol Dweck, and I think it's so important for us to remember that we don't have to be the smartest person. We don't have to be the most beautiful person. We don't have to be the skinniest person. We don't have to be the most athletic person to achieve our goals. It is really about that personal effort. That's what's going to make a difference. That's what's going to set you apart from others and allow you to achieve those goals. Sometimes it seems so outside of the realm of possibility for you. It is possible. And it's the effort, not the natural skill set within you, that makes that possible. J.K. Rowling has a great quote about this. She says, "It's our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." So now that we've talked a little bit about some of the science and history behind goal setting, I want to give you 4 steps, 4 action items that you can do today and carry forward in your day-to-day life to help you be successful with goal setting. The first one is to grab a notebook. So I've got my favorite notebook right here. My pen is attached to it. I use this every day. And so I want you to grab that notebook, and it could be a fancy notebook that you select from a local bookstore. It could be one that you order off the internet. It could be just a spiral-bound, college-ruled notebook. It can be a note in your phone. Whatever speaks to you, whatever works for your schedule in life. Take that notebook and go somewhere in your house, your apartment, your dorm room, or wherever you're at, and spend 5 or 10 minutes just thinking about and dreaming about what you want your future to be. I want you to think about your life in 5 years. I want you to think about your life in 10 years. What is that going to look like for you? What do you dream for it to look like? I want you to really think big here. From there, I want you to think about specific areas, relationships, work, academics. And I don't necessarily just mean being in high school or college or beyond, but so not necessarily in a school setting, but how are you growing your brain? How are you continuing to learn and evolve as a human in this world that we're all living in? From there, I want you to think about your self-esteem, your health, all the aspects of your life, and what you want that to look like for you in 5 years and then in 10 years. After you've taken that time to envision all of those different areas, then I want you to get really specific and take all those areas that you're envisioning, and I want you to turn them into a short sentence or phrase. What's important here is that they have to be positive and they need to be in the present tense. I want it to sound like it's happening to you right now. So if you're thinking about your career, for instance, you might say something like, I am passionate about my career. Well, that's still really vague. So maybe you know that you want to be an accountant. So you might say, I am passionate about my career as an accountant. You could get even more specific into a specific area of accounting that you want to study, or a specific company for which you want to work as an accountant. I encourage you to get as specific and as clear and descriptive as you need to be. And so for all these goal areas, you're going to write a short, very easy to rewrite sentence that's positive and present tense about that goal area. From there, we're going to go on to step 2. And that's where you're going to take all these goal areas. Sometimes when I have clients do this, they might have 30 or 40 sentences, and that's too much. So we need to narrow that down to 5, 10, whatever seems reasonable for you to rewrite on a daily basis, because that's where we're going with this. So keep that in mind. You're going to have to do some work with these every day, so you don't want too many on your list. I want you to pick the 5 or 10 that really, really resonate within you. For me, my goals have varied. Sometimes I'm only listing 5. Sometimes I have 12 because there's a few that I just can't let go of and I want to keep working toward. Our third step is going to be, now that we've got our 5 to 10, we're going to narrow it down further to have one of those 5 to 10 that's going to be your area of focus. So this is coming back to what we talked about at the beginning, where you have one main goal or focus area. So what is that one goal going to be for you that you're really focusing your energy on? For you, it could be, something about health. I love saying something along the lines of, my body is healthy and strong. And so that way, it's not necessarily, for me, tied to like a goal weight or anything like that. But it's this idea that when I think about what foods I'm putting in my body throughout the day, or did I get a workout in that day, am I doing things that keep my body healthy and strong? And so that's a great solo goal area for you to be focused on if health or wellness is a goal for you. For others, it might be that you're working on relationships and you want to become a better mother or father or partner. So make that your main goal area. Whatever it is that you feel like is the number one area that you need to work on, that's going to help bring up all these other areas in your life as well. All the other areas in your life as well. That's where we need to focus. So now that we have our list of 5 to 10 goal areas, they're positive, they're present tense, where do we go from here? What do we do next? And that's where we have to turn these goals into a routine. And so I want you to take some time with your journal, your notebook, your phone, every day. For some, it's first thing in the morning. For others, it's right before they're going to bed. I want you to write out these 5 to 10 goal areas every day. And as you're writing them out, I want you to visualize yourself achieving each of those goal areas. For some clients, it might be that there's a specific car they want. I want them to write out whatever that make and model is, and they have that car. I want them to visualize themselves driving that car with their hands holding the wheel of that car. It makes it so much more real and specific in our brains. When we write these things out, we are 42% more likely to achieve our goal just by writing it down. And this is because we're activating both the right side of the brain, which is more imaginative, and the left side of our brain, which is going to be more logic-based. So we're tapping into both areas as we're focusing on these goals. We're also doing 2 additional things because we have this idea of external knowledge, where we have written down somewhere that we can access at any time to review and remind ourselves of exactly what we're working on in our lives. But we're also encoding this information in our hippocampus. And this is what really excites me, is when we're talking about the brain and the neurobiological changes that are happening in these daily changes you're making in your life. So by writing these things down every day, you're making that change in the brain. The hippocampus is actually changing. It's increasing your ability to remember your goals, to keep them front and center in your mind every day. And then the basal ganglia start to take over. And so then they're helping our brain to remember these goals and to help us get to that point of making them a reality. So as you're writing all of these things down, you're truly, truly changing your brain, which I think is exciting. So I want you to take some time this week to really focus on your goals for this year. It doesn't matter when you're starting this, it's never too late to get started. So whether this is January for you, if you're watching this video in July, it's never too late to get started. And then I'm excited for you to watch your dreams become a reality. Thanks for spending time with me today, learning more about goals, and I look forward to sharing some additional videos about how to take your goal setting even further and to help you make these goals a reality for you. Thanks so much.